Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you tuning in today, Thursday, on the American Anchor Baby here. We'll get started here. We got a show ahead. It's going to be a bit of a short one, folks, as we got a special, appearance with Jessie Lee Peterson. Jessie Lee Peterson will be... Now, I hope it's live. I don't want to give you bad info, but I believe Jessie Lee Peterson will be debating someone today. And I will get you that info as soon as I confirm it with the folks outside. Once I get that confirmation, if it's live, I will let you know. Because Jessie Lee Peterson has a debate today. So it should be fun. So I'll be here with you today for an hour. So we're going to get right into it, folks. Because we're fear-mongering today. This is the Fearmonger stream. Welcome. Chaos, entropy, World War III, destruction, okay, fire. As you can clearly see, we're getting in the spirit of things. We're getting in the swing of things, getting in the spirit of it all. We're going to be fear-mongering today, okay? We got to fear-monger a little bit. It turns out we got to do a little fear-mongering, okay? And you might think, well, Nick, why do you want to spread fear? Now, why do you want to spread fear? That sounds evil. Okay, that might be a little evil. But I'm fear-mongering for good, for Christ. Because I know people are controlled. They're controlled by their fear. People are controlled by their fear. So I know some of you listening may want to overcome fear. And for those of you that want to overcome fear and all that, stick around. We'll be here an hour. I'll give you a nice step towards that direction. But for everyone else, I want you to panic. I want you to be in fear so that you don't want war, so that you stay home. You don't support these dumb things and get us into a nuclear war. Okay? So fear, panic, chaos, entropy. And for everybody else who wants to overcome fear, stick around. Because it seems to me like, who do we got in the U.S. government that's actually pumping the brakes? It's Blinken and Biden. What amazing times we're living in, 2023. After everything that's happened, we got Joe Biden, and we got Blinken, Antony Blinken. What does he do? I always forget what he does. You know, that guy. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. They're the only ones pumping the brakes. Like, wait a second, maybe we can't win. Maybe we can't win. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're not the great American empire that can win any war. We're kind of stretched thin right now. Russia, Ukraine, Israel. Oh, now China's trying to get in there. There's some stuff with the Philippines. Pump the brakes. Maybe we can't win. And so a little bit of fear in these people might do us, the rest of us, a little good. Because then that fear might snap them out of any psycho, thinking that America's untouchable. We can win anything. We got all the let the soldiers die. Then it's not my family. We can win. Just nuke them. Have a little bit of fear, huh? Oh, just as I say nuke, huh? Just as I say the word nuke, look at the screen behind me. Serendipity, or something else. A little bit of fear from Biden and Blinken, but I do appreciate it. Overcome fear, but also, if they truly overcame fear, we'd also be in a good position. But since they're fearful, let's make sure that that's turned up so that they pump the brakes and don't think they can win. It would be agreeable, I think, for the American public. And I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere. Okay, I think I have a little bit of to back up my claim here. You know, they're saying the Iranian foreign minister warned America. I warn America that if the scope of the conflict is not controlled, they will not be spared from it. Referring to America, I believe. We got this guy right here. We're going to need Lil Nick. Hey, what's up? Oh, okay. He might be speaking in a foreign language, though, so. You know, it's funny. I'm Lil Nick here in the corner, but I don't have a green screen, so I'm kind of covering up the image. But here's this guy, Iranian foreign minister, saying won't be spared if you don't control the scope of the conflict. Fear, chaos, entropy.
Today in New York and the United Nations, I say frankly to the American statesmen who are now managing the genocide in Palestine that we do not welcome to expansion of the war in the region. But I warn, if the genocide in Gaza continues...
He calls it a genocide. They're calling it a genocide. I mean, they're quick to use these words. Genocide. You know. Then the Israel... Anyways.
They will not be...
They're trying to drive him out, okay? You can maybe call it a cleansing of some sort, maybe. Maybe it's forced immigration, like whatever. You can call him anything. What am I, IDF PR right now?
From this fire. It is our home. And West Asia is our region.
Wow, whatever. He says our region, but hello, Israel has nukes, my friend. Israel has nukes. It doesn't seem, I don't know if they're going anywhere. Something someone said recently, I think is true.
Not compromise with any party and any side. And we have no reservation when it comes to our home's security.
So that's the warning, right? That's the warning. And just to drive it home, why I think Antony Blinken and Biden, I've shown you over the past few days how there have been basically calls to chill, calls for proportionality. Antony Blinken the other day said that Palestinians deserve a state. You know, they're looking for peace. And here it is. Blinken says he asked Qatari PM, the prime minister, to rein in Al Jazeera war coverage. If you don't know, Al Jazeera is a media company funded by the Qatari government. And I read about that somewhere. And I was reminded today by Hake's guest, Dylan Burns. Great episode today. Definitely check out The Hake Report today. You could podcast his show, thehakereport.com. You're speaking to Dylan Burns, very knowledgeable, smart young man on foreign policy. Anyways, Al Jazeera, funded by the Qatari government. Blinken is basically telling them, chill. Again, with the chill vibe. I know that they said they banned the word de-escalate, but behind closed doors, here they're telling, hey, everybody chill. Because you got to understand, Al Jazeera has been covering this. And Al Jazeera, you could say propaganda or not, I think whatever you believe about them, the point is they're covering the war in such a way that's incensing the Muslim world. The Arab, the Muslims in the surrounding countries, like I've shown you, take to the streets and protest. They bang the war drums themselves in a fascinating relationship between government and people and citizen and nation, which has played out, in fact, over history over and over again. In my opinion, just blind and brainwashed masses take to the streets and bang the war drums, unaware of what they're really calling for. I know they believe it's love to the Palestinians. But I'm leery, right? I'm leery when I see crowds, all that. So they're telling Al Jazeera, chill, because you're making things worse, and we don't want that, right? That's what this is telling me. So thank you for the fear. Thank you for the fear. I know it sounds strange. I'm playing around, but right on, Antony Blinken and Biden. Now chill out, stay scared. Chill out and stay scared. Oops, got a messed up image right now. Chill out, stay scared until daddy comes home. Until the men come home, until Trump comes back in. This is a pipe dream. It's not, okay? Have a little faith. Trump comes back and makes it happen until daddy comes home. So go away and be afraid. And anyways. You know, I'm playing around. You know, you must overcome fear because it's really fearful people who would press the button. You know what I mean? Who would make World War III even happen. And we'll get into that before we're done. Before I leave you all today, we'll deal with fear. We'll deal with fear a little bit. Just a little bit. Nick's background at the same time says, chill out, nothing's going to happen. Fear, chaos, entropy. I used to have I have a good friend. We used to cook together in the kitchen. You know, I used to be a cook for a long time. And he would start arguments with the ladies, with the servers. He'd get a topic going and just get them riled up about this or that. And then once everybody's yelling at each other, once the chaos is going, and at the peak of it all, he'd smile and look back at me and say, chaos, entropy, with these wide eyes. These wide eyes. So shout out. But yeah, they're talking about fear. They're telling Al Jazeera to calm down. And and we have at the helm, you know, it seems like just bumbling people just walking America into conflicts. They say Biden said the U.S. will defend Philippines if China attacks. We shouldn't be surprised, as they are an ally to America. And they are, in a sense, our allies and satellite friends and all that in the world. When you look at it in a military way, they're like defense radars around the world, okay? And they're like soft borders, if you will. They're like a soft border, so should a foreign country mess with that soft border, they're in turn messing with America's hold over the world and their grasp over world security, etc. And smarter people than I have been debating America's vital interests and all that. But I know myself, if you ask me, this anchor baby, Americans dying has to be a war about this country, about sovereignty, about this soil, about the progeny of Americans, etc. So that's if you ask this anchor baby. So they're fear mongering, but some of this pain is causing a bit of a wake up, a little bit of wake up. And I'm not saying that's a deep point or anything. Like I want pain and I don't know. Pain doesn't always wake you up. That's not always like, what I'm trying to say is that people think that going through trauma, just that by itself, makes you stronger or better by the end of it. They think that just simply going through a tough time, going through breakups, getting beat up physically, getting beat up emotionally. They think that by the end of it, though, if you survive, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, they say. But I don't think that's quite true. That's not quite true. What doesn't kill you and you overcome makes you stronger. There's a second part to the equation. And so I'm not going to try and say that pain is just good because it wakes people up. Oftentimes people go through pain and they end up worse. By the end of it, they get scared. They have fear. Their fear, you get punched in the face, you're scared of the next one. You anticipate the next punch. And you never overcome. But there's a little bit of that phenomenon going on. Pain, waking up. Right? Kind of in a macro sense. basic things. How do I describe what I'm trying to say here? There are basics of laws of life, I guess, in the universe, if you will. If you're following me as I use this language. There are basic laws. Let's go with math. 1 + 1 = 2, huh? How about a little bit more sophisticated, but if you face fear, you overcome fear instead of running away from it. Simple, kind of, doesn't that sound simple but true? A little more sophisticated, but how about this? Taking on ridiculous debt, and not being fiscally responsible without thinking of tomorrow a little bit will lead you to financial ruin. Fake paper money, doesn't equate to actual value. Concepts, right? Like, you follow me? Well, a little bit of pain has got people thinking about these simple things. It turns out that debt matters after all, writes The Atlantic. And this writer, Annie Lowry, who are you, Annie? Speaks about, actually being smart with your finances, not taking in all this debt. And then this writer compares it to America's handling of their own fiscal situation. Now, maybe that's a bad idea. You might be setting yourself up for ruin, inflation, all sorts of things. Maybe the lofty impressions of the American economy, untouchable, kind of reminds you of 2008 financial crisis. It can only go up. Well, actually, some things have to fail. Chaos, entropy. Some things have to fail, right? And they're being propped up and not being allowed to fail. Think of companies, banking. Think of propped up minority groups and propped up affirmative action, propped up everything, propped up economy, propped up America. Think about all that, okay? But oh, look, more chaos, entropy, female TikTok military. That's what you're looking at. I should have put this a little bit more to this side. I'm cutting it off. But chaos, entropy, the ladies in the military. Anyways, look, I'm talking about trade. There was a philosophy in America. It's called common sense, okay? Common sense, that word is going to come up later. Common sense, right? There was a common sense approach to economy, for example. It used to be that in America, the whole idea is let trade happen, let the industries, let's take out red tape and let the industries grow and do their thing and be facilitated. But the American worker, and certain industries would be protected by moderate tariffs, etc., because we care about America first, right? Because if it's just a free market, and in debt, doesn't matter. We can get in debt, doesn't matter. We have the value of I don't know, our name or something. It doesn't matter. We can get in debt, and we can bring in cheap labor and cheap products from elsewhere. It doesn't matter about jobs in America first and all that. Well, that used to be the philosophy. In fact, Donald Trump was trying to bring that back. That whole philosophy. Domestic production, okay? NAFTA, the replacement to NAFTA. Remember the USMCA, trade in this side of the world, making it happen here. We got great things. America produces literally everything. From the east to the west, you got everything you need here. Energy independence. And now that was like, okay, never mind. Back to this globalist kind of trade with Biden. And now we're getting hit with inflation and all that. And it's like, wait a second. Fiscal conservatism you may have used to hear at one point. Fiscal conservatism. But then Bush came in. I learned about this recently. During the Bush administration, they tried to rival the Great Society in their spending of programs. I think I remember hearing about this. They called it didn't Bush call it compassionate conservatism, something like that? He called it compassionate conservatism. And he ended up spending like all this money, like the Great Society for civil rights and all that. Fiscal conservatism out the window. Oh, endless wars, global war on terror, all that. And now suddenly inflation, and you're seeing the Atlantic and articles coming out. Wait a second, maybe all this debt is a bad idea. Women. Speaking of pain causing people to wake up. Check this out. Speaking of pain causing people to wake up, look at this. Let me show you a little TikTok that's going viral. Okay, let's go. Chaos, entropy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is a woman. She did this. Young lady. She did this TikTok. It's her first 9-to-5 job out of college. Let's watch. Elon Musk, man. Elon Musk, man. How are you gonna do me like that, Elon? Don't you know I'm trying to do a live show? Okay, let's watch.
So dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. Swearing. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally.
This is, by the way, this is a woman's mind in her head. This is how they speak in their head. Like when they see it, like just you know, they're resting when they're resting, just resting and looking and judging everything. It's like this. It's like, I mean, I think the mind is like this in general, to be honest. But anyways,
it really takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30 and I don't get home till like 6:15 earliest, and then like I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like,
yeah, ladies, welcome to our life. Although I'm not complaining. I'm not saying, I'm not complaining like this. I'm trying to also eat well and get all these things I want to do. And I'm like, man, there's so much to do one day sometimes. And I'm not bogged down by it. I just do what I can. I really don't trip. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't trip, but but yeah, welcome to the real world. You know what would avoid all this? I'll tell you after we finish watching your video.
I'm so upset. Oh my God. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9-to-5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like how do you have time to like meet? Like
how do you have time for friends? How do you have time for children? How do you have time for making a home? How do you
a guy? I don't know. Like how do you have time for like dating? Like I don't
have time for a husband and children and
time for anything. And I'm like so stressed out, and I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional. But like,
nice excuse.
Am I so dramatic? It's fine.
Yes. She's cute. She's just being a cute girl. Someone go save her.
I know I'm probably just being.
I hate women too much to save this woman, and so couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But someone save her, I guess. I could save her. Hake says in the chat. She's kind of cute for a 12-year-old, but she'll lose the makeup. It's not appropriate. I think she got out of college. I'm pretty sure she's out of college. More tears, more chaos, more entropy. Yes, yes. You don't want this, ladies. You don't want this. Now, I understand you got to work. You got to make your money. Some of these guys are out here marrying you and doing the thing they're supposed to either. So do you. But you don't want this. This is not the life you want. No. More tears. More tears. More tears. Maybe more wives. Maybe more wives. And then the men, when you marry these tearful women who are scared and fearful and angry and emotional over working 9-to-5s, help them overcome their fear. And if you don't know how, well, before I leave today, I'll let you know. I'll at least point you the right way. Because I know I know a little bit. I'm not trying to say I'm this deep person. Okay. More tears. Yes. Yes. Stay home, ladies. I mean, us men working, and many of you ladies also who work as well, know that we don't have the time to do all the things we want. At the same time, a little side note on time, though. Jesse Lee Peterson has said this. It's so true. You find the time to do the things you want to do, and then you go around complaining and whining, I don't have time to do the things I need to do. Get that figured out, okay? There's a little food for thought for you. But you guys see what I'm saying here? I'm sometimes looking at little things I need to do. I'm like, I need a wife. I need a wife. I would be able to build my estate so much more masterfully if I had a wife dealing with, I got to think about food every day. I got to think about laundry. I got to think about, like maybe some bills. Like, oh, I forgot about this parking ticket. I forgot about, I need a estate manager, producer. Does loading the dishwasher count as work, Nick? Asks 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Absolutely. Some of the most important work, in fact, 𝒔𝒐𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. You got time to smoke pot, says Nada. So true. So true. Hey, Deconstruct over on Rumble says, good Rumble stream, bro. Hey, thank you. I've never seen that name. Welcome to the stream. I'm streaming on Rumble, if you don't know. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. I'm also live on DLive. What's up, DLive? DLive.tv/Gorgonzola, like the cheese, but it's a HOLA at the end. What's up, everybody? What's up, GG Cash, my new follower? Games for Rec, what's up? Thank you for the diamonds. Thanks for the ice creams. Very cool. Will you be flying out sea on Friday? Ooh, I got a special show for y'all tomorrow and Saturday. And I will tell you details on that in a moment. Let me continue my stream of consciousness. Where was I? Oh, yes. Women. Yes. Tears. Chaos. Entropy. So right on. Speaking of war and women and chaos, entropy. Look at this. Look what I stumbled upon. Look at what I stumbled upon. I think there might be a swear in here. My apologies. But it is a TikTok video of an IDF Israeli woman soldier. And I want to show you this, okay?
I really didn't want to get...
Because there's a couple of levels here. This is fascinating. Okay, this was posted by Leela Logan, I believe, on TikTok. And this is an IDF person. And someone tell me what I'm looking at here. Because it looks like Israel is quite diverse. What is this? Is this a black Jewish woman? What? I need help. Is this a black Jew? Black Hebrew Israelite? I'm lost. I'm so lost. My well has been poisoned with all this information. There's pharaohs, there's black Hebrew Israelites, anyways, let's watch this video. I don't think that's good hair. I like your hair, black ladies. But they say it's not good. They say it's not good hair. So, I want to show you this.
I really didn't want to get personal with it.
Because I believe there's a fascinating moment. It's not so much the content of the video, but maybe I'll comment on that as well. But there's, I think, a fascinating moment within this video. Make sure you have your ears perked up. Listen.
I really didn't want to get personal with it, but I got a lot of comments talking about, you're black, sis, you don't even belong, sit this one out, or you don't even know who your people are, or blah, 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 blah.
You're black, sis. You should sit this one out.
Etc. Aside from the fact that I will say, in 2016, my grandma died in a suicide.
Is this AI, asks Hake. This looks strange, right? This might be AI, folks, but this looks strange, doesn't it? But okay, it's being touted as a black Israeli. Anyways, let's watch.
2016, my grandma died in a suicide bombing. Google it if you want to.
Google. She sounds like she's from New York. Google it if you wanna. She's about to say the N-word. Google it.
Okay, my Jewish grandmother. Aside from that,
bluish.
You don't have to be a Jew.
We bluish.
You don't have to be Israeli.
You guys hear that in the background?
In the military like I do. Israeli military. You don't have to like Jews to say no to genocide.
Someone added that in, right? There was no delay between the last two chirps. If you guys haven't caught it, I'm laughing at the chirps in the background, like a smoke alarm chirp, like a low battery smoke alarm chirp. But these last two chirps were way closer to each other than the last two. Did someone deceptively edit this? Some racist may have deceptively edited this.
Don't try to use
Google
this as
if you
an
want to.
excuse for not being a human being.
She's more black than you, I think. Google if you want to.
When the shit knocks on your door, let's see what kind of comments you'll be expecting.
Ooh. And look, why am I showing you this? The chirp. How's there a chirp even there? What the heck? How's there, if this is real, how is there a chirp? What is going on? How do we still have chirps even in the IDF? This is a mess. What the heck? She moves weirdly. It's AI. It might be AI, but this is hilarious. Why are you showing me this BS? You're not entertained, Doom Jesus? Maybe it's a bird. Oh, man. We're not in a good spot. Okay? If chirps equals ghetto, says Jimbro Slice. The chirps are edited. Yeah, they might be edited. I'm a little suspicious of this video. But this chirp, it can't seem to stop following black people. Even if it is a joke. Now these racists are just adding it into videos. Black people can't even just take a video of themselves talking without some racist editing in a chirp. Amazing. Oh, man. Oh, man. I guess you can't, I guess the spirit truly is the same everywhere. You must overcome culture no matter, you know what I mean? The culture, you could be affected by your culture, spirit, maybe even genetics. I don't know what it is everywhere, but you must overcome it. You must overcome it all. You can overcome it. I believe you can. You can overcome. I was saying this the other day. You can overcome IQ, almost like as if I'm saying you can overcome genetics. And people were like weirded out by that. And I understand I know I'm ignorant and I'm not speaking with science here, but think about it. Do you have faith in God or don't you? Do you know you can overcome all things? But anyways, speaking of overcoming culture, just a random thought I had. Dylan Burns was on The Hake Report today. Great episode, thehakereport.com. And he mentioned how the Russians are having 2.5 times the casualties. For every Ukrainian soldier dead, there's 2.5 Russians dead. And what's up with Russians? They haven't overcome culture in the past 100 years. This has been their MO in war for like 100 years. Artillery, creeping and crouching artillery like out the wazoo, and just bodies. Just more, just overwhelm them. I know, ooh. Hey, boss, we're taking in a lot of Russian casualties. You see that pile of bodies? That's our boys. Yeah, just march over them. Yeah, the tanks just go over them. Use them as cover. Just send bodies. It's rather Asian. It's a little Asian to me. if you're following me. Something Asian about it. Maybe General Patton was right. There's something Asiatic. There's something Asiatic about these Russians. There's something a little Asian about these Russians. General Patton, I think General Patton was onto something. It's been like that 100 years, just cannon fodder. Cannon fodder Russians. Fear, chaos, entropy. Amazing. Speaking of fear, entropy, they want us to be afraid here too. They have a way of silencing you. And I used to be measured about this kind of speech. And what I'm describing is, that we're living in a kangaroo court, two-tier justice system. We're really, truly in a communist country where the government is silencing political enemies. And you know, I used to kind of see that, but it wasn't totally clear to me. I know it may have been for many of you, but it's been quite clear to me lately. In bogus indictments, going after Republicans, going after politicians that go against the establishment, that say something wrong, that's just not cool, it's not cool. You know, they go after them, and they'll run them through the legal system, fine-tooth comb. I'm reminded of Kavanaugh. Remember Brett Kavanaugh? Going through his life, false allegations. Trump, obviously, the latest, but it's a little bit a more gray area for a lot of people. I know for a lot of us it's clear, but because of there's so much emotion behind the whole Trump story, it's a little bit more gray for people. People will hear someone say, Fani Willis, the woman dealing with, and 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, these female, judge, lawyer people, going after Trump. They'll see their case and the details of the case, and they'll see these recent 4 guilty pleas. They'll see the 4 guilty pleas, Sidney Powell, 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, whatever, this woman, Jenna, and they'll think, dang, this case is picking up steam. Wow, the dominoes are falling. We got these people turning on Trump, and that's their MO. That's their MO. Silence. It's not about. I saw someone say this recently. I think it might have been Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin. Shout out to Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin was saying something like, I forget who it was. It might have been Owen. He said something about how it was Gavin McInnes, I think, that we, the conservatives and stuff, we know what we stand for, at least somewhat. And it's clear and it stays there. But the enemy, they don't care about something specific like truth, like God and man and truth and the order. But it's just about winning. And they'll do anything to win. They'll do anything to win. And this is their MO. Silence. It's crazy. And if you watch the thing, you might think, wow, there's a lot of steam picking up. But I'm not a lawyer, I'm a layman like many of you. But these things are kind of falling apart if you look at it from a different perspective. Because Fani Willis, you seen that Bible Thumper Thursday intro? That black preacher. Fani Willis. District attorney for Fulton County, Georgia. At least 6 Trump co-defendants in Georgia election interference case have taken plea deals. But what's interesting from what I'm gathering from this latest in this saga is that Fani Willis has gotten 0 out of 4 guilty judgments and convictions on these people. That under the eyes of the law, these people have basically been exonerated. And from what I can gather is because they said sorry, which is weird, which is strange because, you know, it really is kangaroo courts. You say sorry, then we won't hit you with all these bogus cases and all this. I mean, this lawyer on Twitter kind of described it a little. Here's a little thread that you might be able to pull and find the truth. I'll do a little pulling myself and give you a full report. Because we got some good shows coming up tomorrow and Saturday. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But here's this lawyer guy, talking about this 0 out of 4 convictions. And it's just a different perspective on the whole thing.
Fani Willis loses another one. Her record is...
Let me slow down this video because I was watching it at 2 times speed. And I'm basically become quite a degenerate with viewing content. I don't know. I'm probably hurting myself somehow. Probably doing something, scrambling myself, but now watching videos at 1 time speed is too slow. That's not true. I'm playing it up. I'm hamming it up. But when I'm trying to consume information, especially for the show, you know. Anyways, here it is, the video.
Fani Willis loses another one. Her record is now 0-4. 0 convictions, 0 guilty judgments, and 4 people who are going to have their cases ultimately dismissed so long as they comply with probation and the other terms. Now, this is what we can call traffic school plea deals. Just like when you get a speeding ticket, you sign up for the class, you admit you did something wrong, you take the class, everything goes away, right? You've got no conviction at all. In fact, this is even more beneficial than those, because these will be totally sealed, and by the judge's own order, we can say legally that the defendants have been totally exonerated under the law. Now, we're going to go through this. We've gone through
totally exonerated. It's like, where's the big case, the big convictions? I'm hearing, well, it's supposed to be the dominoes to get the bigger players. But I'm just trying to say that I don't think we quite understand it. You know, like Cernovich here on Twitter is saying, you know, the public won't understand, but this objectively means that these guilty pleas show that the prosecutor knew she could not win at trial. You know, kangaroo courts, just political indictments. And then you got what? You got the mainstream media just gloating and saying, "Oh, look, we got 4 guilty pleas." But what does that mean, though? Okay. Let's keep rocking here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. They hit Trump with a $10,000 fine. Judge in Trump's civil fraud trial called him to stand after Trump disparaged in violation of a gag order. Remember, the man is not allowed to speak about these things. And should he'll get fined, and he was, according to Politico. So they really did fine him. Free speech is dead. Chaos, entropy. You know, and, you know, to tie it all, to bring it home a little bit, chaos, entropy. Here's how we'll finish this. There's all this chaos and entropy in Europe. You know about the southern border in America. You know the mess with immigration, crime, etc., stuff that should not be happening. Oh, but Americans commit crime too. How is that a justification for immigrant crime? Even just one criminal, one drunk driver in American streets. But the mess is crazy in Europe, and I'm sure many of you are aware. They call them rapefugees. They call them rapefugees. They're raping the women. And it's been like an issue for years. I remember this one guy. I'm trying to remember his name. Who knows the name I'm thinking of? It might be Tommy. Is it Tommy something? English guy from England who's been censored like crazy. Who am I thinking of? I know, Hake. Everybody raped. So true. Everybody. Tommy Robinson. Dude, remember Tommy Robinson? Do you remember this face? Maybe you've forgotten because censorship kind of works a little bit sometimes. You forget about them, and if you don't really actively look for them. And then I think this guy was facing jail, went to jail or something. Pretty insane stuff. And what was this guy? What was his crime? What was his crime? This guy was just outspoken against all the rapefugees and immigration in England. We got these immigrants coming in, raping them, the media covering up for them, and British politicians covering up for the whole thing. And what does the media do and all that? They scapegoat this guy, they pick this guy, they call him a racist, nationalist, all the words. Remember that? You remember that? Years that was going on. At least since I was hearing about it. And we got Europe. Look, here in France, the latest guy named Samir brutally rapes 2 defenseless elderly women, ages 93 and 95. It's freaky stuff, and the government doesn't want to do anything. Well, check it out. German Interior Minister supports deportation of Hamas supporters. Here it is. German Interior Minister supports this. Now, I don't know about her record. I don't know if she's always been anti-immigration. But I'm seeing these sudden reports of Europe. They're saying in France, too, they're cracking down on pro-Palestine views. Now, what the heck is that? I'm not as knowledgeable as a bunch of you guys, but I'm a noticer of things. And this has been a problem for longer, folks. And you're going to get all up in arms now? Speedy deportations? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think it's because people have fear and strange identities with things. Hey, Hake, do you know if the Jesse Lee Peterson appearance is live? Let me know in the chat so I can properly announce it before I leave here. Because, you know, this is why this is a problem. Let me show you. Because we're going to wrap it all up here. We're going to wrap it all up. I know I'm here with you just a short hour today with you. We're going to wrap it up with this video. I want to show you this video represents fear. It represents false identity. It represents Bible thumping and, in my opinion, false interpretations of the Bible and all sorts of things. This was shared by Mike Cernovich. He said, if you want to understand foreign policy, this is the single most important video you can watch. He posted this, and I really don't know from where or what, but it was quite fascinating because these are U.S. politicians responding to this, what looks like young journalist questions.
We're talking to...
Let's listen in. This was posted by Mike Cernovich. I want to make a point here, and then I got to go.
Members of Congress about Israel and the U.S.'s relationship.
All right, y'all go.
The U.S. has an intrinsic interest in making sure that Israel not only receives our best prayers and offers of success, but
nothing wrong with that.
Armaments, our money, and our ability to make sure that in a very dangerous reason this democracy survives.
I can understand the sentiment. I have my reservations, but I can understand that a little bit.
Some biblical prophecies that say that...
Okay, this is the biblical prophecy part. Listen up.
That control of Jerusalem by the Jews is important for the second coming of Christ.
This entire matter is based upon faith of our Maker, of our Creator, but it's also faith of a chosen people.
Can you ask why the Democrats...
Chosen, so you see, this is a religious, spiritual thing he's saying. He's saying this is, we got to do it because it's all that. Okay, listen to Lauren Boebert.
The Democrats
I'm going to make a point here.
Have been campaigning to defund our law
Lauren Boebert gets
as
asked similar
their
questions.
People, BLM and Antifa riot and loot in the streets.
How would you like to see the Capitol Police
There's a
on
new
there?
government in Israel. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of the U.S. relationship with Israel?
There have been two nations created to glorify God, Israel and the United States of America. I will bless both. I will honor both.
Oh, wait, I don't think it's important, Lauren Boebert's comments here. I think we already got the important comments. The guy talking about this biblical prophecy.
I will do all I can.
Hold on, let's finish the video.
To stand and defend them.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Take care.
Okay.
Aaron, do you have a quick second?
Right here.
Sure, man. Do you think there's a role of religious extremism here in the U.S. funding and shaping the conflict? I mean, there are a lot of folks who are part of the evangelical movement that want...
Support Israel.
Support Israel, and we don't really kind of see that same kind of constituent group pushing the other way.
Yeah, I wouldn't label the Baptist or the evangelical community as extreme because I feel like they're following the scripture and what the scripture says about Israel. Those who bless Israel will be blessed. I mean, they take it literal, and I'm one of those people.
Taking it literal.
Christian Zionists that do.
I take it literal, and I'm one of those people. And I'm thinking, I'm watching this, and I realize something like that is extreme. Like, you know, this. To interpret the Bible in such a way, you know, it is the end, and they want to bring the end, and it's the second coming of Jesus, and it's the end of the world, and this what's going on with Israel. It's what that is, and I'm a Christian evangelical, and that is crazy. That's like believing thoughts and thinking that's God talking to you, and you see what I'm saying? This is fear, false identity, and all that. This is all in context with the Europe stuff and immigration. All of a sudden, all that. You got to understand. You see what I'm saying here? People believe lies. They believe their mind. They believe they have beliefs about things. They made assumptions. I think we misunderestimate just how far people take brainwashing. You know, I think it's easy to say it's, I don't know, IQ or genetics or something, but anger brainwashes. False identities, people have them. Thoughts, weird, strange beliefs, people have them. So, a little bit on fear. Yeah, I've been fear-mongering this stream. This has been the Fearmonger stream, and I thank all of you for being with me in this short hour today. This has been the Chaos Entropy stream, but maybe some of you have stuck it out and aren't cowering, stuck out to the end of the stream and are wondering, well, Nick, I want to overcome fear. I want to actually overcome everything you've been talking about. And I know I have viewers who aren't even aware of Jesse Lee Peterson, friends at home and stuff. They reach out to me. I'm on a network. I'm on Jesse Lee Peterson's network. If anything I'm saying is interesting to you, I dare you to check them out. But a little bit on fear. Like I said earlier, we're forgetting simple things. Face your fears, they used to tell us. Face them. You got to do the work. Facing your fears. And what does that mean? Facing the fears, the little fears of every day. If you notice, the fears you face aren't, your life being threatened, nuclear war, you know what I mean? Not everybody. Your fears that you face every day are personal, internal. They're with people, dealing with situations. Imagine if you faced all of that. Imagine if you faced all those little challenges in life. You would be set up for the big challenges in life. You would be unstoppable. And then people are like, but Nick, what about war? What about nuclear war? I'm afraid to die. This is something I've always thought, and this may sound arrogant. I'm not saying this is not holier than thou. I got my own, look. But I've always wondered, I've always thought, people who are deathly afraid to die, I've always sensed a spirit of guiltiness, of guilt. I think you gotta be really guilty to be that afraid for death. And I know nobody wants to die for some foreign war. And don't be in your head. That's not happening. World War III is not here. No draft is going on. Don't get in your head about that. That's not happening. Getting in your head and fear, that connection. Stay tuned. Hold on. But people, it's guilty people. Always seem afraid of death. Maybe you can deal with your life, and I believe that you can even overcome that fear of death. I mentioned getting in your head, thinking World War III is coming. Angry people have doubts and worries, okay? You got to understand, fear is something that needs to be overcome. And what is it that you're overcoming? An evil spirit. You are possessed. So what do you got to do? You got to overcome evil. And how do you overcome evil? You can't become evil. What is evil? It's hate. You can't be hate. Okay? This is just a stepping stone, folks. This is just a stepping stone. I'm doing the work myself. This is just a stepping stone to get you on the right track. Angry people listen to doubts and worries of the mind. You know this. So just a recap, notice the fear that you deal with in your daily lives. Deal with that better. You will be able to deal with the big things. And then we go to the extreme to try and differentiate that fear. That fear of nuclear war is different than the fear of, I don't know, someone criticizing you. We go to that extreme to complicate it, and it gets further confused with practical fear. Oh, but I don't want to get run over by a car or something. Brings me to another point. Angry people don't have common sense. All of that will come with common sense. So again, deal with all that. And I believe you can even get to a point where you won't even be afraid of death, even if it is some foreign war. Imagine artillery drops. Your first reaction is to retreat into your head, tense up. Artillery is going to blow up anyways. So fear's not from God and all that. All right, folks, that's the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a short one today because we got Jesse Lee Peterson. He's going to be live on the Kill stream. I'm pinning the link in the chat, I think. The Kill stream, okay? The Kill stream on Rumble. Jesse Lee Peterson will be debating Tommy Sotomayor live. I've pinned the link in my chat on YouTube. I am copying it and pasting it in the other chats. Folks, that's the show today. I got to run and get ready for this debate with Jesse. Check out his appearance, the Kill stream. I'll be back tomorrow. We got a special show tomorrow and Saturday. It's going to be fun. I was going to describe it and tease it a little bit. I don't really have that time. Folks, that's it from me. That's the Fearmonger stream. Catch me tomorrow for the flight. We got Nick's stream, and we got some awesome things. It's going to be a fun weekend, y'all, so don't miss it. Click the live notifications and all that. And that's it from me. Let me see. Am I ready to leave? I'm ready to leave, folks. See you tomorrow. Peace.